Take two. Jesus Christ, right? Like, what the fuck? I was in the middle of telling my story, and it just decided to shut me down, right? The phone rebooted. Thanks a lot, Apple. I will never understand your updates, right? Like, I updated my phone last night, so if it cuts off again, I don't know what the fuck, okay? So I'll just start this story over from the very beginning. And so I want to talk to you today about the winning mindset. First, make sure you leave a comment down below. I'm going to be giving away a login to, which is a $200 prize to my ultimate inbound lead selling system. So make sure you leave a comment, because if you don't leave a comment, you won't be entered to win, right? And I'm going to give away 3 of my Fuck Your Excuses chips. If you've never seen one of those, they look like this. On one end, they say, fuck your excuses. I give them out all the time. And so make sure you leave a comment. Tell us where you're from. Network in the comments. You can connect with other people. There's badasses that follow this page. You guys should be networking in the comments. You should be getting to know each other. You should be trying to trade business and everything else. So just keep that in mind as I talk about this. But I'm here in Wyoming, and here, I'll check it out. It's beautiful outside. There's mountains and snow, and it's an absolutely beautiful place. A little cold for me, but absolutely beautiful. And I'm here with a bunch of real estate agents who are 9-figure per year producers, which means they sell over $100 million in real estate a year, which means that they do, 7 figures in what's considered GCI, gross commissionable income, every year from real estate. And if you know anything about real estate, being able to do 9 figures in anything is powerful. But in real estate, that's like the 0.5% that do that annually. There's not a lot of people here at this mastermind, like 30 people. And one of the guys here is a guy named John Cheplack. And I've been a fan of John Cheplack for years now. I first heard of him through an old business partner of mine named Chris Weaver, who is now a coach for Tom Ferry. And he was a partner, or maybe he coached for John at one point too. And so I've been keeping an eye on this John guy for a while. But yesterday was the first day that I ever heard him speak. And I don't really get on this page and talk about other awesome people, because there's not a lot of them out there, first of all. And second of all, this is a page for us, but I really do think that you should be following this guy, even though you may not be the ideal client for him, because he just works with real estate recruiters. That's his niche. But following him and seeing his mindset's huge. So John has a drinking problem. His daughter, Lexi, she's grown up now. She's absolutely beautiful. She's a bottle girl at Hakkasan, which is, big money. But Lexi was born with a heart condition. And I might butcher this a little bit, John, so, I'm just trying to get the point out here. But Lexi, his beautiful daughter, was born with a heart condition. And I couldn't imagine. I have 3 boys. And I couldn't imagine if something was wrong with them. That was terminally wrong with them, right? Like, the doctors told him that his daughter probably wouldn't make it. And here she is, she's an adult now, so she's a survivor, which once again proves that doctors don't fucking know anything. Their guess as good as yours, I would imagine. But when John discovers that his daughter has this problem, he just drinks. He thinks he can drink his problem away. And a lot of people are like that. A lot of us are like that. I mean, think about it. Us salespeople, we try to drink our problems away. And we got problems, right? Most of us come from humble beginnings, from poor backgrounds. We've been abused. We've been fucked over by bosses. I remember there was one time where this cocksucker named Rob that I worked for, I was broke as shit. I had just lost my mortgage license, and they had given me a job, and I had earned like $15,000 in that month, and he fired me and kept my money. For no reason, just because he needed the money for his family for Christmas instead of mine. It was devastational. And I'm sure if you've been through something like that, And people do stuff like that to us salespeople, and just like it's nothing. Just like we're pieces of shit, And not all of us have had to go through that, but a lot of us had. The reason why you're on this page, the reason why you probably work in sales, is because your parents didn't probably pay to put you through Harvard. And you've probably been fucked from a boss a time or two and everything else, right? And so we tend to drink, smoke, pill. We take pills, we drink, we smoke, we're addicted to porn, we're addicted to sex, philandering, lying, gambling, whatever those addictions are, to hide that big problem that we're facing. Well, John's no different. He's a sales guy, a very good one, mind you. And when his daughter's born with this condition, this heart condition, he thinks he can drink it away. Well, one thing I've learned over the years is the more that you try to push that problem away, the bigger that problem gets. You know what I mean? Like the more you try to run from that problem, the more that it just continues to grow. And it's not until you face that problem till you have a chance to make it go away. So John decides to hit the bottle. And he hits it hard. You know, I've heard stories from my old partner about him. And one day he decides that his problem's big enough to where he has to face it with his daughter. She goes to the hospital. She's having to have treatments, all this other stuff. And John puts the bottle down forever. He's still sober to this day, all these years later. And he doesn't even go out with us when we went out last night to party and stuff. He stops drinking his problems away and he starts facing his problems. He knows his daughter has a heart condition. So he starts studying the heart. And he starts paying close attention to the heart. And the same addiction he had with alcohol, he's now addicted to learning about the heart so that he can understand his daughter and maybe even help her. Because like doctors say that somebody's going to die. I got a friend that stores my McLaren, right? It's his storage facility for cars. And the guy that owns it that I pay every month to store my McLaren was told that he would die 5 years ago. He had stage 4 some kind of like stomach cancer or something like that. He's still rolling. Right? He's still rolling. Doctors told him he had 6 months. He's still alive. He's still doing fine. He doesn't even look sick. And so the doctors, they don't know. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's anybody's guess. Everybody's is different. So John decides that instead of relying on the doctors for information, he's going to find out. So he goes all in. All in. Because that's what winners do. We're relentless. When we are on a mission to win, which he's trying to win his daughter's life. Think about that for you guys that have kids. Think about that for you guys that have kids. He's trying to win his daughter's life back. So he's relentless in his pursuit for this. Well, he discovers something that blew my mind yesterday when I heard this. He discovered that the brain doesn't control the heart. Like most of us think the brain's the central operating system for our entire bodies, right? But he realizes and learns from all this neuroscience and everything else that the heart controls the brain. You see, the brain doesn't tell the heart to beat fast, which instills fear in us, right? The heart starts beating fast and tells the brain to be scared. Think about that for a second. How fucking powerful is that? And the reason why I say that is I'll add this too. There's another guy here who is a meditation coach for Tony Robbins, right? Now he's a real estate agent, but prior to that, he's a meditation coach for Deepak Chopra and Tony Robbins. So he's a badass too. And he says that there's all these different phases, but the final phases of intelligence. But he said the final phase of intelligence is heart, using your heart instead of your mind. So John reconfirms that, right? Two separate people. John, the guy with the sick daughter, reconfirms that the heart controls the mind. Because if the heart shuts down, that tells the mind that the game's over, right? And so he starts doing all this research into the heart relentlessly and discovers that it's the heart that controls the mind. And so when you can start living from your heart, which is hard for a lot of us because up in here, we got a lot of damage. I'm speaking for myself and I'm not trying to knock about you, but I know that people have a lot of damage in here. I mean, especially for me. I was abused as a young man. I was adopted as a young man. I was addicted to drugs as a middle-aged man. How would I say it? I was abused as a kid. I was abandoned by my father as a kid. I was addicted to drugs as a young man. I was in prison as a young man. I've been divorced as an adult. I mean, I've had all sorts of fucking problems. There was one time where there was this guy named Rob who I went, after I lost my mortgage license, he offered me a job. He owed me like somewhere between $10,000 and $20,000 for the month of work I did at Christmas. And he said, fuck me, fired me, didn't give me my money, had no reason to fire me whatsoever, other than the fact that he needed that money in order to pay for his family. So it was like, fuck me over him. It was devastational for me. It was devastational. I couldn't buy my then wife and kid Christmas presents. Couldn't do it. Didn't have the money. I totally didn't expect for that to happen. And so and the reason why I share that is we got a lot of shit inside our head here. Some of us have animosity. I got animosity. Some of us have animosity. Some of us have anxiety, frustration, anger, all these things, right? But what John realizes is that if you can get out of here and get into here, that's where there's a rapid shift, right? Because if the heart controls the brain, and the brain will tell you to be mad, the brain will tell you that people will fuck you over, the brain will tell you not to love somebody, the brain will tell you to hate somebody, but the heart will tell you to love somebody. And once you can get out of your head and into your heart, is a game changer. And so I tell you that story, and I'm not a neuroscientist. I can't get into all the facts like John did. You should follow him. He's a brilliant guy. But what I'm telling you is that he decided to win. He decided to quit being a loser and drink. And I'm not saying if you drink, you're a loser. I drink, okay? But he was definitely an alcoholic. But he decided to quit being a loser, quit drinking, and go all the fuck in relentlessly for his daughter. And because of that, he learned things that's allowed him to love people in a way, and not like sexually love people, but love people in a way that the brain would never allow him to. And I share this story with you because a lot of you are in your head right now, me included. I'm talking to myself here. I'm preaching to myself, y'all. A lot of you are inside your head, myself included. I didn't know until yesterday, and now I've informed you. Because here's what I know. Until we can get to a place of thinking with our heart, we'll never feel fulfillment in our lives. You know, I have a lot of haters, people that hate me. A lot of people that I've made successful don't like me because they don't want to admit that I was the guy that did it for them. And that's okay. And in my head, I got a lot of animosity and frustration with them and everything else. But yesterday I learned that in my heart, I've got to learn to use my heart to be able to love. And it's hard because a lot of us are tough guys, right? You're on a page that's hardcorecloser.com and it's not like, spreadthelovebrother.com. It's a fucking hardcore closer page, right? So it's hard for some of us to get out of our heads and into our heart. But the key to this story, the big part of the story besides the hard head correlation, is that if you want something bad enough, you will be relentless towards it. You see, I have people that come against me and have tried to make me fail for years. Ever since I've started this business, there's been people saying, oh, you'll never make it. Your business won't last. You're an asshole. You're toxic. And I have a very low tolerance for bullshit. And because I live up here. I'm working on it. I'm not perfect. And I just started yesterday. But I live up here still today. And I'm working on traveling my thoughts down here. But if you want something bad enough, you'll do anything. How about people who, they find out they're sick, they got diabetes, and all of a sudden they just immediately, all of a sudden they went from not giving a fuck and treating their bodies bad to all of a sudden, eating healthy, trying to beat this thing, working out, exercising, controlling their diet, knowing what's good, what's bad for them, trying to beat these diseases. Same thing with somebody who has cancer. They go all in, but it takes sometimes a life-changing, life-threatening event in their life for them to turn around and go relentless, just like John. He was drinking his life away, but it took a life-changing aha moment for him to go, I'm going all in relentlessly for my daughter. And so I ask you this today, the mindset, or we should say the heart set of a winner is to be relentless. And all of us are relentless on something. Some people are relentless haters. Some people are relentless losers. Some people are relentless abusers of drugs, porn, people, whatever the case. But winners are relentless towards winning. There's nothing that can come between me. No hater, no lawsuit, no, and I'm not being sued or anything like that. I'm just saying, no, but I have been, right? When I was in the mortgage business, people sue banks all the time because they think they have money. There's nothing that can keep me from winning. When I got out of prison in 2008, just 10 years ago, I had $20 to my fucking name. Today, I sit here in front of you as a multi-millionaire. I don't say that to brag, but I show you, but to prove to you that I have been relentless in my pursuit to win, right? And it doesn't matter what what the motive is for you to win, but winners will go relentlessly until they win. So John, my friend that I'm explaining, with Lexi, the daughter with the heart problem, she's still alive. She's a bottle girl at Hakkasan, which means she's absolutely beautiful because Hakkasan does not hire unattractive women to serve their bottles. And Hakkasan's one of the biggest clubs in the world if you don't know what it is. And he understands that she's still alive today because he put that bottle down and went all in and understood. So here's what I'm asking you closers. Here's what I'm asking you right now. What are you relentless towards and is it serving you? And can you turn that relentlessness up here into the relentlessness in your heart? Because many of us are relentless towards trying to get revenge on somebody. I'm preaching to my fucking self, y'all. Many of us are relentless on trying to get revenge on somebody, trying to shut somebody down, trying to be angry at this person or trying to play a victim because of this, that, or the other. But winners aren't relentless towards loser shit. You know what I'm saying? Winners are gonna fucking be relentless towards winner shit. So right now, if you're using the relentless gift that the good Lord gave you, and I'm not even, I just say good Lord as in divine creator, whether it's Allah, Yahweh, God, Jesus, whatever it is that you believe in, the good Lord that created this company, this planet, the divine coder, gave you a relentless mentality, and many of us use it to be relentless in video games, relentless in bitching, relentless in being a loser. And whatever it is that you're relentless right now, you have to ask yourself, where am I being relentless, and is it serving me? And if you realize that being relentless towards whatever it is isn't serving you, you can still channel that same relentless power. You just have to spin it towards the thing that matters the most. John was a relentless drinker, but then he became a relentless studier of the heart so he could save his daughter. Many of us are relentless drinkers, relentless pill poppers, relentless potheads, or whatever the fuck it is, right? And we've got to turn that shit around so that we can be relentless towards winning. And I don't just mean making a bunch of money, because if you just make a bunch of money and you level up in your business and you don't level up in every other area of your life, and by the way, there's 4 areas of your life. There's faith, family, finances, and fitness. I learned that from Kevin Nations. Right? So if you level up in your finances, your business, and you don't level up in your faith, your fitness, and your family, guess what? You may have a shit ton of money, but that's why people say that rich people are miserable, because they didn't level up across the board. They went relentless on business and left everything behind. And I can tell you as a guy that's had divorces, I can tell you as a guy that's worked with people who've watched them level their business up and then go through a divorce, and they say, well, my wife must have waited till I got money to divorce me. No, the problem is you leveled up and didn't take the people on the level with you. When I level up, when I go relentless, I've got to take my family with me. I've got to take my employees with me. I've got to take my clients with me. I've got to take my thinking with me. I've got to take my faith and my ability to stay relentless with me. I've got to take my fitness with me. I'm not trying to brag or nothing, but I have these nice arms, because if I leveled up with a bunch of money and I was a fat fuck, then I wouldn't be relentless in the right areas. I have to level up and be relentless across the board. And so I ask you today, closers, whatever it is that you're relenting, you ask yourself, is this gift I have of relentlessness, is I using it towards the right thing, or am I abusing myself by not using it towards the right thing? And here's the thing, if you discover that you're being relentless towards the wrong shit, you're a relentless hater, you're a relentless addict of some form or another, it's okay, I still love you. But now that you've been woken up, now that you've been informed, you have the opportunity to turn that relent into something that's going to make you a relentless motherfucking winner. And when you do that, you have to level up across the board, or you will lose the things that you don't level up with. You can have all the money in the world, and if you're fat and overweight and you don't chase and you don't take care of yourself, guess what? You're going to end up spending a lot of that money fighting diabetes, fighting cancer, fighting health problems, and everything else, right? Because you didn't level up across the board. And I'm not picking on people or fat shaming or whatever. I'm just saying that's what you got to do. You can't be relentless in one thing, in one of those 4 areas, without being relentless in all of them. So you were given a gift, and that gift was for you to be fucking relentless. And if you're being relentless towards video games or some stupid shit that's not serving you, that's not winner stuff right now, I need you to flip that switch off and then turn it on in the right direction to where you can win across the board. Now here's the thing, I'm going to be giving away 3 of these fuck your excuses chips to people that comment on here, to the 3 best comments, and I'm looking for some intelligent comments. Maybe somebody that knows about the heart, maybe somebody that can draw the correlation, and then I'm also going to give 1 login to my ultimate inbound lead selling system, which is one of my sales trainings for people that take inbound leads. It costs $200. And I'm going to give that away to a commenter well. So I've got 4 prizes that I'm going to give you guys for leaving comments down here, but I want good comments. I want comments that speak to relentlessness. I want comments that are intelligent, that can help me, because I'm looking to learn from y'all. And so I appreciate you watching this. And today all I ask is that you pick what you're going to be relentless towards, and you don't fucking stop till you get it, and then you keep going past that point. I love you motherfuckers. Catch you next time.